Right now on General Hospital, Anna Devane is not just physically trapped. She is mentally unraveling, and that may be the most dangerous development of all. Her declining health, paired with vivid hallucinations of Faison, signals that this story is operating on two levels at once. One is the obvious kidnapping and captivity plot. The other is psychological. And when General Hospital leans into psychology, it usually means secrets, betrayals, and institutional corruption are about to explode into the open. This is not simply about whether Anna will survive. It is about who wants her silenced, who is manipulating the system meant to protect her, and whether the people searching for her are already several steps behind. Because when the head of the WSB may be complicit, rescue becomes far more complicated than breaking down a door. Let's break this down carefully, because every piece of this outline suggests a much larger conspiracy, and Anna's hallucinations may be the key to understanding. Anna's deterioration, when Faison returns in her mind. Anna's worsening condition is not random. Her hallucinations of Faison are especially important. This is not just a familiar face from her past surfacing under stress. Faison represents betrayal, manipulation, and the personal cost of a life spent in espionage. When Anna hears or sees him now, it suggests her mind is processing something deeper than fear. Possibly, Anna's subconscious is warning her that she has once again trusted the wrong system. Faison was a master manipulator who hid behind organizations and false loyalties. Seeing him now could be Anna's mind drawing a parallel between past enemies and her current situation. Her health decline also raises practical stakes. The longer she is held, the less capable she may be of escaping on her own or even signaling for help. That introduces urgency. This is no longer a slow-burn mystery. Time is actively working against her. And that brings us to the obvious question. Is this decline a narrative signal that a search and rescue operation is coming? Or is it meant to show us that the rescue, when it happens, may come too late to prevent lasting damage? The captors, Sidwell, Pascal, and the shock of Cullum. Initially, Sidwell and Pascal appear to be the primary villains. Dangerous, yes, but familiar in their role as external threats. However, the revelation that Cullum is involved fundamentally changes the equation. Cullum is not just another bad actor. He is the director of the WSB. He holds power, even over Brennan. That makes this a story about institutional rot, not just individual villainy. Hypothetically, if Cullum has been backing Sidwell all along, then Sidwell stops being an independent threat and becomes an extension of the WSB's corruption. That reframes Anna's kidnapping entirely. This may not be an act of rogue criminals, but an internal operation sanctioned at the highest level. That matters because it means Anna was likely targeted not for what she did recently, but for what she knows. Or worse, for what she might discover. Cullum's presence also explains why Anna has not been found yet. Resources that should be used to locate her may be deliberately misdirected. Leads may be buried. Searches may be quietly shut down. This is not a failure of intelligence. It is sabotage. Cullum, the law enforcer turned shadow master. Cullum's role as WSB director makes him especially dangerous. He is supposed to be the final safeguard against exactly this kind of corruption. Instead, he appears to be orchestrating. There is a strong possibility that Cullum ordered Anna's abduction directly. If so, that suggests he views her as a liability. Perhaps she was getting too close to something. Perhaps she already uncovered part of the truth. It is also likely that Cullum's alliance with Sidwell has been ongoing. Sidwell may have been protected, funded, or strategically placed by Cullum to carry out actions the WSB could not be seen doing publicly. This is where Brennan becomes crucial. Brennan, the man caught between loyalty and truth. Brennan operates under Cullum. That means any suspicion he develops is inherently dangerous. If Brennan begins to realize that his superior is corrupt, he cannot rely on official channels. Reporting Cullum would be pointless. It could even get him eliminated. This sets up a classic General Hospital dilemma. Brennan must decide whether to remain loyal to the institution or to the truth. Possibly, Brennan is already connecting dots that do not align. Missing intelligence. Inconsistent orders, a pattern of operations that benefits Sidwell indirectly. These are not things that go unnoticed by someone trained at Brennan's level. Once Brennan realizes Cullum is compromised, his next move becomes the most important one in this entire storyline. Does he act alone? Or does he quietly begin forming an off-the-books alliance? Emma, the emotional center of the story. While the power players maneuver, Emma is left in the dark. She believes Anna is on a secret WSB mission. That explanation is thin, but believable enough to keep her from demanding answers, at least initially. However, the silence is becoming impossible to ignore. No updates, no reassurance, no indirect confirmation that Anna is safe. Emma's fear is not paranoia. It is intuition. This is where the emotional weight of the story deepens. Emma represents the civilian cost of espionage. She is the person who suffers when secrecy is used as a shield. And unlike trained agents, she does not have protocols or backup plans. She has anxiety and unanswered questions. That emotional pressure is likely to push her into action. Hallucinations or foreshadowing. Emma, Mac, and Felicia. One of the most intriguing elements here is Anna's hallucinations potentially involving Emma, Mac, and Felicia rescuing her. On the surface, this could be wish fulfillment, a dying mind grasping for comfort. But General Hospital rarely does something this specific without intent. Hypothetically, these visions could be foreshadowing. Anna's mind may be assembling the people most likely to come for her, not because they are currently close, but because emotionally they are her anchors. This creates an interesting parallel. As Anna imagines rescue, Emma may actually be starting her own search. Emma and Nathan. Is search destined to fail? Emma is not likely to sit still. Her bond with Anna is too strong. It appears she may begin looking for answers with Nathan. This pairing makes sense emotionally, but not strategically. Neither Emma nor Nathan has the authority or resources to penetrate WSB secrecy. That sets them up for frustration and dead ends. Many fans speculate that this search will fail, and that seems likely. Not because they are incapable, but because the system itself is designed to block them. Cullum's influence ensures that any official inquiry goes nowhere. Joe's role here is telling. He does not provide solutions. He provides comfort. That positions him as emotional support, not an active agent. His presence reinforces how powerless Emma currently is. This phase of the story is about despair. It is about realizing that wanting answers is not the same as being able to get them. The turning point, Brennan becomes the wild card. Everything changes if Brennan steps in. Once Brennan understands that Cullum is aligned with Sidwell, he becomes the only character with both knowledge and access. He knows the system from the inside. He understands how Cullum thinks. And crucially, he knows what information is being hidden. It is very possible that Brennan discreetly approaches Emma and Nathan, not with full truth, but with a hint, a lead, something that confirms their fears without exposing Brennan completely. This could be the birth of a new alliance, one built not on official authority, but on shared risk. If that alliance forms, the rescue of Anna stops being a fantasy and becomes a real operation. The final confrontation. Can Sidwell and Cullum fall? The ultimate question is whether Sidwell and Cullum can be defeated. Sidwell alone is beatable. Cullum is another matter. Bringing down the director of the WSB requires proof. It requires exposure, and it requires someone willing to burn their career to do it. Possibly, Anna herself holds the key. Even in her weakened state, she may have observed something critical. A conversation, a pattern, a name. Her survival, then, is not just personal. It is necessary for justice. Conclusion. What's really at stake? This storyline is not just about a kidnapping. It is about power, corruption, and the cost of silence. Anna's hallucinations are not random. They are reflections of a lifetime spent fighting hidden enemies. Emma's fear is justified. Brennan's dilemma is unavoidable. And Cullum's betrayal may be one of the most dangerous in General Hospital history. The stakes are clear. If Anna is not rescued soon, the damage may be permanent. If Cullum is not exposed, the WSB itself becomes the villain. Final prediction: Anna will be rescued, but not cleanly. The truth will come out, but at a cost. And when this is over, the WSB will never look the same again.